Hi Pisces, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your June 2025 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as over here in front of us, it's a Celtic crossbred as always, and I also pulled the 4 agreements and wisdom and the oracle card for you guys. But we're actually going to start reading off our rolling those astrology items we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. All right, we have 4. So, 4th house energy for you guys is actually Gemini. So, actually makes sense to see this come up because obviously we just started Gemini season and there's plenty of energy going on there as well. We have Mercury that's going to be in there starting the 25th of this month until around the end of the first week of June. We have Jupiter that's been there for quite some time, and actually it's going to move into Cancer around the 9th of June, but it's still there now. And of course, we'll have that new moon in Gemini on the 26th, I believe. And what else? I feel like there's something else too. Oh, actually, that's it for now. And we have the sun. So, yeah, we just talked about the fact that we're in Gemini season right now, and then around the 20th of June, it's actually going to move from Gemini into Cancer. And Cancer is your 5th house of romance, creativity, children. And we have Virgo. So Virgo is actually your 7th house of partnerships, contracts, and relationships. Astrologically speaking, we will have Mars moving into Virgo right around the middle of June, and we've had the South Node there as well. So definitely makes sense to see this come up. But we'll keep that in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy. Get that to focus. There we go. And challenging that, we have the Knight of Pentacles, Virgo energy. So 10th house, 7th house. What I'm seeing with this could just be saying that maybe you guys are actually finding balance within your careers, maybe getting some success around it as well. And then with this showing up in the challenge position, could just be saying, but it might come to the detriment of your romantic lives. So, maybe some of you are trying to figure out that balance as well, right? We're like, okay, I have my career, right? I'm focused on that for now. But is there a way where I could actually incorporate a romantic relationship into my life as well without falling behind within my career? So that could be the type of balance that you're trying to reach this month. In the foundation position, we have the 4 of Cups. So this could actually just be saying that for some of you, it really could just be one of those things where because you've been more heavily focused on career, you haven't really even had the opportunity to explore romantic connections, right? So that could be one of those things where, or maybe you have, but on the surface level, and you're like, this doesn't really seem to suit what I'm looking for. So you might just turn right back around and throw more of your energy toward your careers. But for some of you, this at least shows me that there's at least somewhat of a curiosity on your part as to whether or not you could get back into the dating game in some way. In the past position, we have the moon. So yeah, could just be saying that in the past you might not have been seeing things clearly, right? Again, maybe it was because you were so heavily focused on that one area of life. Like I said, for the majority of you, it seems to be more of a career thing you guys were focused on. But for others of you, maybe it's just something else where you're just almost hyper fixated in one area and it was causing an imbalance in other areas of life. But yeah, could just be saying in the past you might not have been seeing the situation clearly. In the present position, we have the 2 of Pentacles. So yeah, so here we see again that theme of balance, right? Trying to strike a balance. And there could be some struggle around it. And yeah, seeing that there's just 2 pentacles in there, right? Could just be saying that for you, you just feel like, okay, I really have to put so much energy toward my finances right now. So even if there is success there, right? Maybe you're just like, hey, even if I wanted to get off this roller coaster right now, I can't, right? I'm dedicated to this, I'm committed to it. So even if it might feel like you need a break, like, well, look, this is where my time is going right now. And there might not be a way around it, at least for the time being. In the near future position, we have the Five of Pentacles. So yeah, so for some of you, this could even just be saying that you might already be in a relationship, right? But it's just one of those things where, again, like I said, you just might be in a busy cycle within your careers to where you can't really give to it, right? And the relationship might be suffering in the meantime as a result. So that could be maybe even the driving factor that's motivating you to try to figure out how can I balance the two, right? But maybe there's a bit of a struggle there. If that's the case, given that that is Sagittarius energy, there will be a full moon around the 11th of June in Sagittarius. So maybe you could look at that, especially given that we see the moon in the past position there. Maybe you could look at that as a time where it might actually help clear the energy out in that regard. All right, in the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Six of Wands. So yeah, so to me, this looks like an indicator of some success, right? Like I said, for the majority, this does seem to be work or career related, where you're striking this balance and starting to see this success. And again, right, but with that usually comes the responsibility of having to maintain it, right? So you're like, okay, so now I've reached this level, I'm getting this success, but now I have to maintain it. So maybe other areas of life might suffer as a result in the meantime. In the environment position, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So to me, at least, it says that for some of you, might actually be embracing the independence, right? We're like, okay, hey, you know what? It is what it is. And like I said, I feel like there is a part of you that at least has a curiosity and an interest in exploring the romantic side of things, but you're like, oh, I'm certainly not going to give up what I have going in my career to do so, right? So again, like I said, I feel like it's one of those things where you might be exploring ways, trying to get creative around, okay, could I squeeze something like that into my life right now, or am I just going to have to continue focusing on career for the time being? All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have strength. So yeah, so for some of you, this can just be saying that you're hoping that you can hold yourselves back, right? Again, because like I said, I feel like you might have seen this in particular, it could just be saying that maybe there's a fear on your part that if you were to explore a relationship, right, maybe you feel like you would just throw all of yourself into that. And so maybe that's something you struggled with in the past, for example, right? So think about it. There's plenty of people in life who are able to have both the committed relationship and go out in the world and have their careers, right? But maybe for you, you guys might really throw all of yourselves into your relationships and then the career suffers in the meantime, right? And maybe you've broken that cycle and now you're just like almost fearful of, okay, but yeah, if I do get into a relationship, how do I know I won't go back to throwing all of myself into that and my finances suffer as a result, right? So you could be hoping to find that balance for sure. All right, in the outcome position, we have the Three of Cups. So this is Cancerian energy here, and to me, this says if nothing else, you will find reason to celebrate as we get toward the very end of June and early July. So definitely looks like a positive here, and this could just even represent connecting with friends, family, siblings. Doesn't necessarily have to point to one thing in particular other than that, but it does seem to be a more light, playful, celebratory energy, which is a positive. All right, and bottom of the deck we have Justice. So another theme of balance here, although this seems to be accomplished in a concrete way, right? So what this is saying, maybe you just need to let the energy ride out and just know that as you go about your day to day, you can count on karmically things to rebalance themselves. All right, from the Four Agreements deck, we have Don't Take Anything Personally, and it says Embrace Your Freedom. Okay, it says you gain a huge amount of freedom when you take nothing personally. No spell can affect you regardless of how strong it may be. And if you live without fear, if you love, you'll be happy with your life. So interesting there, right? So maybe if nothing else, this could be a message for those of you where maybe if you're stressing yourselves over, hey, how do I strike that balance, right? Maybe it could just be saying, if you just love and you stay open, you'll be happy with the way things turn out. All right, and from the Wisdom Oracle, we have Here and Now. There's the artwork, and the number is 32. So let's see what this has to say. Okay, Central Meanings says being fully present in the moment, living one day at a time. The Oracle's message: everything happens in the now, in the present. Only this moment counts. You have what it takes to handle anything today, if you let go of the need to look into the future or reflect on the past. Be present and notice what is going on right now. This very moment has the potential for you to create miracles in your life. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, right? Because like we said, for some of you really could be trying to figure out a balance, right? Hey, can I incorporate both these things in my life, right? Now, for a lot of you, I did see this as a career and then a romantic connection, but maybe for some of you, it's some other kind of side hobby, right? Or maybe in two different jobs you're trying to work. But whatever the case may be, it looks like there's an overemphasis on trying to figure out what that balance would be. I feel like this is saying, if you just stay present in the moment, things might turn out more smoothly than you would expect. The relationship message says it's easy to yearn for a love affair or friendship you may not have right now. One that is more romantic, more fun, more reliable, more passionate. The good old days are gone and a new day has dawned. Let your heart trust that you have everything you need right now, whether you have the relationship you desire or not. Tomorrow is beyond your reach. Yesterday cannot return. The now is all that is available to you. Stay present and aware that in this moment, as you cherish and approve of your beautiful self, you are a magnet for love. Spirit is madly in love with you right now. Did you know that? Turn to Spirit to feel the joy of love in the here and now. So definitely an interesting message here, especially given that temperance energy in the main situation does point to balance. So yeah, like I said, maybe this is also a sign to just try to have faith that things will work out the way they need to. Okay, the prosperity message says what you are working on is golden and your efforts will leave a powerful legacy. Focus not on meeting a goal in the far off future, but on creating your dream now, releasing your desire for an outcome, and owning that it already exists. It will appear in the material world as if by magic. Claim your prosperity now. The essence is more important than the form. When you are immersed in prosperous thoughts, you automatically tune in to a sense of timelessness and unlimited potential. You can act as if, in spite of the temporary outer conditions. You are prosperous at this moment. What you think now becomes a reality. Stay present. So yeah, definitely a positive message there as well. And this does remind me of the fact that I think we might have talked about it briefly in the beginning, but Jupiter is actually going to be moving out of Gemini and into Cancer right around the 9th of June. So that's going to be in your 5th house of romance, creativity, children. So whether this is around getting, figuring out a creative way to balance two things, right, or even just seeing improvement when it comes to romance, that transit could actually help you guys out in that regard as well, especially since that's actually one of your traditional rulers, Jupiter. So hope it ever is any of you guys will wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.